Hello, it's me, Benjamin Brown. Today is Saturday, August 12th. I'm here in my apartment in Montreal, and I've been going through some pretty turbulent experiences as a human and as what I believe might be one of the first public cases of human cloning and I guess discrimination based on something like being considered a second class citizen because of either sourcing my genetic material from a synthetic gene pool, a synthetic fabricated gene pool, or simply because I'm middle class, lower middle class, or lower upper class, and lower class, lower upper class, middle class and under, working class at any rate. So in my last video, I talked about a couple of different abuses and a couple of different things, and one of the things that I wanted to talk about was I guess somebody's deliberately inhibiting the capacity of people to be content with their spouses, and somebody's also deliberately inhibiting people's capacity to find someone to court that can be reliable or honest. I'm not entirely sure that some of the things that they say are wrong with the world are actually true. Like, I'm not really certain, because I've never been to the Middle East, if those countries are war torn or if those countries are starving. I've been told that Sudan has a thing to do. Sudan has a hunger crisis. I've been told that places like Iraq and Afghanistan are war torn, and Syria are war torn, and they're destabilized. I've recently found out that I was Arab, if I'm not synthetic Arab, that I'm in fact organically pulled from some Arab sources. I suspect Yemeni. I'm not completely certain. I know my facial characteristics say Mediterranean. I'm suspicious maybe Armenian. I'm not entirely certain. I really don't know. I'm trying to figure out who I am and where I come from and what my purpose is here in the United States and in Canada and in Mexico, and simply to exist at the disposal of a bunch of people who won't reveal themselves to me. But for what I feel is, at the very least, for the betterment of the global community, that I'm rather sincere about working towards and working to better and help initiate a positive change in the environment for all of them, because I in no way would turn my nose up at trying to accomplish those things. One of the things that I know that they do is they inhibit people's, specifically women, they inhibit their capacity to climax when they're normally copulating with their lovers or their spouses, with the intention of leaving them unsatisfied. I know that they make it so that the men ejaculate in seconds or minutes, and inhibit them from actually having sex again. Whereas the men, if they were not inhibited, couldn't. If a man was not inhibited, they could copulate and climax 3 or 4 times without using things like drugs or anything like that. So I know, even if I have this altercation and I have these sets of resentments and just cause to be resentful and oppose Christian churches and Catholic churches and their conspiracies, I guess in some way the marriages are still kind of my territory, and the sex thing is kind of my territory, in the sense that as a servant to the community, I have to make sure that these people's stories get heard, and that men are happy with their wives, and that wives are happy with their husbands, and that their children are happy, and that their children aren't complaining about not getting to explore space-time or not having access to the same things that the people in charge have access to. This is my responsibility, and these things have been imposed on me, and I'm eager to earn my keep and to work for those things for everybody. But I'm at the same time put in this position where I'm completely cornered, and it kind of hurts me to be faced with the idea that I'm not going to be able to accomplish these things, which makes it a lot easier for me to just consider the fact that I might just be shot and killed, which to some degree seems to be what people are threatening me with. I don't at all believe that I'm in a situation where I'm not in any danger. And the reason is because I'm actually surrounded by some kind of agents. And these agents are essentially aiding and abetting in child molestation and murder and drug trafficking, and are also participating in obstruction of justice. And I'm not capable of really I'm not capable of doing anything and getting my messages through to the people that I need to get them through to. The situation that I'm dealing with is there's a negligent government that I have to get their attention somehow, and I feel extremely neglected. The psychic ghost agents that they have on me harass me morning, day, and night. They harass me with black people with the intention of making me resentful towards black people. They harass me all day long with the N-word telekinetically. They harass me with things with disrespecting Europeans and stuff. And if they were just disrespecting Catholics, I don't think I'd mind so much. But that's not really what they're doing. It seems like I've got to take on all these criminal conspiracies and all these government agencies, and I'm just one person, and I really don't feel like I have the qualifications to do this. I seem to be in the hot seat and be some sort of decoy for some mythological Arab king, which I'm not entirely certain exists or not. I wholeheartedly believe in Judaism and Islam as they are purported scientific and mystical directives and directions with the idea and the intention of being of service to God and being of service to mankind because of God. It says in the Quran that Iblis, who is not a fallen angel, was not granted entry into the paradise because he refused to bow to Adam. And Adam, I guess, upon further extrapolation, was meant to be like some sort of metaphor for mankind. So somewhere along the way, I got in my head that if I want to make it to the paradise, I need to be of service to mankind, which I'm inherently sincere about doing, especially if it involves reconnecting with my Arab ancestry and involves being Jewish and involves being Muslim, because these things have become rather evident to me and have become rather well-founded and expose themselves as being rather well-founded and completely rational and completely scientific, as opposed to things like Buddhism, Judaism, as opposed to Buddhism, Hinduism, and Christianity and Catholicism. I just realized that I'm also Asian because I am native. I have a native genealogical background, And because of my native genealogical background, I celebrate Asian ancestry. I had no idea that I was really Asian. I knew that I was Mexican, but it never like really dawned on me, or I never made the connection that because Mexicans are descended from some strain that came from China, that I am also Asian. And I seen that there seems to be some obvious like social status differences between the natives and between Asians in China and Asians in Siberia. Um, I grew up being kind of, um, I guess, kind of aware of Chinese culture and really fascinated by it and drawn to it. I always loved Asian cartoons, which apparently might not be a wholeheartedly authentic Asian thing. It might be a European influence thing. But I was always interested in those things, and I was always interested in Asian movies, and I always loved Asian food. I always thought and felt like one of the things that Asian people, or specifically Asian heroes, celebrated or were the epitome of was like things like self-discipline. They always seemed to be really in control of themselves, and it was something that I role modeled. And I grew up with my father, and my father would take me to powwows, and I got to eat Indian fry bread, and I used to have like books on Native American mythologies, just like little kids' books. I remember there was one about a little Indian boy who really wanted a horse. And everybody had a horse, and he needed a horse, and he wanted a horse. So one day he made a horse out of clay. And what happened is magically, as if like by overnight or something, I can't remember all the details of the story, but the little boy's horse came to life, and then he had a horse, and his horse was better than all the other horses, of course. um, and I remember being like relatively familiar with native culture. My dad had a library, and his little library had books on Native American culture and Native American history in regards to American culture. He also had books on the Civil War. I'm not entirely sure the Civil War happened. Somebody around here is trying to convince me that the Holocaust never happened, and that Africans might not have been enslaved, and that Africans were never slaves. I don't know. I suspect that there might be some truth to not all of the people that they said were killed in Germany were killed, but I don't know. And the reason I'm suspicious of this is because there seems to be a big deal about artwork that was stolen from Jews, but it seems like the more popular art pieces and the more better art pieces were done by people who had the capacity to influence psychically and psychokinetically and psychotelepathically, which means that the artwork couldn't be much older than the 1800s. And I suspect that there's a chance that Jews are working in cooperation with some sort of people that say they're Jews might be working in cooperation with some sort of German faculty. But I've seen videos of them pulling like bodies and corpses and burying them in mass graves. But the truth is that I don't know. The other weird thing is that somebody's got me in this challenge and in this event, and it seems very much that the event that they're imposing on me is the challenge of Jacob, in which Jacob is wrestling with a messenger of God in the dark. And the dark is supposed to be like a metaphor for my being in complete ignorance. I don't like the idea of hurting Jews that are practicing Jews. I would never hurt a Jew that was practicing. I would never curse a Jew that was practicing. I would never curse a Muslim that was practicing, and I would never curse a human being that righteously and devoutly adhered to monotheistic ideals, values, and even incorporated the body of the Muslim and Jewish mythologies and philosophies in their lives and lifestyles. I can't say that happy about all the disinformation and all the different things, but if there's an important Arab king somewhere that needs that kind of protection and needs to manipulate things like that, then I would understand that. But I would hope very much that he would make up for all the harm and the damage that all these people have endured through through somebody else's desire to lash out at them and lash out at me and lash out at him. Like I said, the civil rights movement and African slaves, like I don't know if those things are true or not. All the pictures that they have of like black people being lynched could have been like computer generated. All the things that they could have made up about our history before the 1800s could not be, is a chance that those things aren't true. And so this is what I'm wrestling with. Inherently, what the Quran and the Tanakh teach me essentially is to work righteousness and to adhere to strict code of conduct and to be aware of myself and how I interact and engage other people. But I'm in this situation where people are always yelling obnoxious things at me about the sexual misconduct of my daughter at the hands of an American government and police forces and American militaries and other military factions and associations. Like I said, I'm constantly harassed by ghost agents that they have posted on me. And I'm here in Canada kind of waiting and hoping that some sort of government agent makes contact with me and addresses the things that are happening to me. But I don't really think that that's going to be the reality. I mean, they've censored my internet. They intercept my phone calls, my letters, my emails. It's literally impossible for me to make any kind of complaints, to the point where I've kind of just given up. Who do I call if my calls are being rerouted? Who do I mail if all my mail is being blocked, intercepted, and buried? Who do I email if all my emails go to different inboxes or don't go anywhere at all? It just doesn't make sense wasting all my time with those things. And all I'm really capable of doing is trying to work to save up a little bit of money, which I'm also having trouble doing because these people are experts at eating into my money as well as eating into my time. They put holes in my clothing. They steal my stuff out of my room. They damage things. They've literally broken my cell phone and made me replace my cell phone and forced me to replace my cell phones. And sometimes they steal my cell phones and they switch it out for a phone that's not the actual phone that I walked out of the store with. This is crazy. I don't work for any establishment. I don't work for any agency. I don't work or submit to any cop or federal authority or agency, because they're all corrupt and they're all involved in burying my story and in burying the sexual misconduct involving my children and the children of the United States and children of France and children of Germany and children of England and children of Italy and children of Spain and children of Mexico and children of all the misnomered Americas and Polynesian children and Pacific Islander children and Asian children and Indo-Chinese children, because for the most part, all these people are not at all in control of themselves, and I guess they don't really have the awareness to know that their impulses are being triggered, just like emotive responses. Sometimes I'm aware that some of the responses that I experience are triggered. I have no idea, how to explain that to somebody. Especially somebody that might have been brainwashed on LSD with the use of the device that's in their heads and with psychic influence and different things like that. I don't know. I'm having a rough time. And I'm really sick of it. And I'm trying to do my best. I don't know how the hell I'm supposed to accomplish anything under these conditions. They're not letting me read. And all I can really just do is just kind of work and lightly work out. I can't even do the kind of workouts that like I would like to do. I need to be able to compete with like the shadow government's top soldiers and outdo those guys. And here I am with a consumer American consciousness and a civilian physique, and it's just like I don't know how anybody expects me to accomplish anything. To all you people out there who are deserving, peace and blessings be upon you. You're in my thoughts, even if I seem distracted or seem not myself. Please be on your guard, and I wish you nothing but the best, and wish nothing but the best for your loved ones and for all the things that you care about. Okay, next time.